Hello everyone and welcome back to AmmoMart. We're going to do some more work with Kayla today, and it's been some weeks since we've been together, so we don't train together on a regular basis at all. So Kayla, how's it been going with your shooting? Have you gotten to go much?
I go whenever I can. It's a little bit difficult. It's prime softball, baseball time, always busy with the kids, but whenever I can go out to the range, I am. If I can't go to the range, then I'm dry firing at home and doing that. But I have realized there's a few things I still need to work on.
Which are?
I would say longer distances, anything that's definitely beyond 10, so 15 to 25 feet, I'm having some difficulty with.
So let's back up, okay? A couple of questions first. I'm assuming you're still using the HoloSun.
I am, yes.
Okay, so there could be a couple of reasons why longer distances are challenging.
Okay.
Unfortunately, there's not an easy answer, which could be trigger yanks, always a thing. Sometimes with new red dot shooters, one of the things that you do at a longer distance is change your focus from the target to the dot.
Okay.
Okay. There's a lot of theories about why that is true, but I do it myself. Even at closer ranges, you notice sometimes that you're staring too much at the dot and not at the target. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, controversial topic for some people is the concept of an occluded red dot. Have you heard of that before?
I have not, no.
So the way that works is they even sell them commercially. You can put a block on the front of your red dot so you cannot see through the tube, but you can still see the dot.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what it does is does not keep you from staring at the dot. You still can because you can see it. But it does sort of reset your brain that you're doing it. Without that interruption, you just kind of keep doing it. The strange thing is your brain just sorts that picture out. Your dominant eye will be on the dot, your non-dominant eye will watch the target, and the two will just sort of give you a picture of what it is you actually need to see.
Okay.
Now, that's almost unbelievable, right? That you would need to see through the tube, but you don't.
Okay.
You don't. Now, one of the things we need to talk about before we go forward is you should not, in my opinion, run an occluded dot on your everyday carry gun while you're carrying it in public. That could be bad because you do function off of one eye if you're trying to go around a barricade, and you will not like that. Your brain will get confused. You'll have an almost impossible time picking up the correct sight picture to any degree.
Okay.
So people run them, but it's a tool. I'm not a fan of doing it all the time. Okay. I already have mine taped up. I mentioned you can use commercial ones you can buy for a HoloSun. I'm sure they're out there. And it's only like half the cover the gun came with, or the OPTIC came with. But what's easier is electrical tape. It's cheaper, and believe it or not, it comes off your dot pretty easy.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Now, what we're going to do is we're going to have you take a couple of shots long range, unoccluded, right? Just normal stuff. And then we'll put this on and give me an honest answer about whether it's easier to shoot longer range with your dot covered or uncovered.
Okay.
Now, you have a lot of things going on with the way you see.
Yes.
Astigmatism, right?
Nearsighted and farsighted, yes.
Because of that, you may or may not get the same return that somebody else would. There's a lot of things that go on with the way people see that I'm struggling with myself that affect all kinds of things that you could read as generally true. Okay, so we're just going to give it a try.
Okay.
You don't have to spend any money. The tape will be somewhat free, and we'll see if it helps you. Once again, it's not going to stop you from making the mistake. It'll just remind you that you did.
Okay.
One of the other advantages for those at home that have never tried this is you can run the dot at any brightness and it won't affect anything because all you're looking at is a black screen. So on a very sunny day, you could, in theory, run the dot small and still see it, which is going to pick up your precision, right? Because the dot is a certain size at a certain distance. So you could run it very bright, train that way with it, getting used to it being very bright. You can run it very dim, okay? So it does have some training advantages, but once again, don't do it out in public. It can maybe lead you into trouble.
Okay, so I do have a question.
Go ahead, sure.
Okay, so if we're covering the dot, the red dot, okay. So my question is, with this drill that we're doing, I feel like I have this question, but other people might as well. Why would we have a red dot on the firearm to begin with if we're doing this drill?
Sure, very, very common sort of misconception about what we're actually going to do. The emitter for your red dot is behind what we're going to cover.
Okay.
So what you're actually going to see is a bunch of black with the red dot in the middle.
Got it.
You will see the dot. You just won't be able to see through the tube.
Through it?
In general, what you're going to get is the back of your hand, the back of the shape of the gun, and the big glowy dot. You'll still see it, which is one of the interesting things about why this works the way it does, because it will remind you when all you see is dot black instead of target. Okay. You'll get a flash image almost of when your brain shifts the focus from target to dot, you'll get no outside visual reference. For instance, if I'm looking down range and that white target is my target, without the occlusion, your brain doesn't quite catch up to the fact that you're watching the dot because you can see sort of in a circle. When you're focused on the dot that's black, all you see is black dot, no green, no backstop, no target. And it's an instant reminder that I'm now looking at the wrong thing.
Okay.
So you still see the dot. It's not unsighted sort of fire and you're hoping for the best. You'll still see it. It's weird, but you'll see it.
Okay.
Okay. So perhaps, Kayla, adding to your misery will be our targets downrange, the steel. They're 6 inches perhaps. I've never actually measured them.
Okay.
But they're a little bit humbling, especially if you're in a hurry. This is a 25-yard shot. Picture in your mind, it's basically the length of a semi with the cab.
Got it.
Now, you would think that most proficient shooters can do this all day long. I will assure you that's not true. Most people don't practice at this range very much. And when they do, they typically use some support, some whatever, to steady the gun. Okay, so it's a challenging shot, for sure. Now, be untimed, because we just want to see how much it actually helps you.
Okay, and this is the distance that I'm having difficulty with.
Yeah, 25 yards is no easy feat.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
And we'll see maybe if we come in a little closer, if it actually helps you. Some people claim that they actually find the dot faster out of the holster, or even from low or high ready position. They find it faster because they're not looking at the wrong thing.
Okay.
Okay?
Got it.
Let's give it a shot. Okay. Kayla, so we're going to come out of the holster. No timed event, so we're going to take all the time we need.
Okay.
Just try to line up on the target and get off a well-aimed shot. Good trigger press, all the concepts of marksmanship we talked about before with a unoccluded dot, and we'll see how it goes for you. Okay?
How many times am I firing? Am I reholstering?
Couple, 3, just till you see whether you're hitting or not, what maybe the mistakes are, which is to say, if I see a lot of impacts in the low left, then we know we're not managing the trigger well.
Okay.
It could be they're all consistently high, which could indicate an aiming point problem. So let's just see how it goes, and I'll give you the stop, okay?
Okay. Sounds great.
But you're going to fire your own cadence, okay?
Okay.
Good. It's a little low. A little to the right. A little low, but close. There's a hit. Try again. That kind of moved it. I think would have hit it some. Good. So go ahead and safely reholster. So it took a little bit.
Yeah, it did.
I think we're like 50%. Maybe 6 shots, 3 of them, the last 3, 4 were right there, right? So that's unfortunately not unusual.
Okay.
25 yards, once you kind of figure out where your dot needs to be, things get a little more consistent, right? We noticed at the top of the drill, though, we were a little high, a little low, a little right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, when that was going on, what do you see? Do you see the dot clearly? And is it kind of a mismatch of target, target tube, if you can recall it?
I just know I'm focusing on my green dot and trying to put it directly in the middle of the target.
Perfect, perfect.
But it's moving a little bit.
And, well, of course, the wobble zone, right?
Yeah.
But potentially, it's, the term I would use is the dot gets your attention when it's farther away, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what we're going to do is you're going to make your weapon totally safe for me.
Okay.
We're going to throw some cover over the front of it and see how it goes from there.
Okay.
Okay. So go ahead and clear out. Great. Now, for the next portion, I don't want you to dry fire. I want you to bring the gun up out of the holster exactly like you would.
Okay.
So we can catch your reaction on camera that this thing actually works and you can see the target as well as the dot.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes.
So, Kayla, without game in the drill, you have never looked down the tube while it's occluded, correct?
Correct.
We did that on purpose. So all you're going to do is the same thing that you would normally do.
Okay.
Gun out, good full firm firing grip, present it onto the target, and let's see what happens.
Okay.
You're going to be a little amazed about why this works the way it does, but let's give it a shot. Okay?
Got it.
And once again, take all the time you need to get off good hits, okay?
Okay.
Awesome. Hit. Can't really tell. I heard something. Hit. Hit. I think maybe. Good. Kayla, go ahead and safely holster up.
Okay.
So safe to say our hit percentage was up fairly dramatically.
Right.
Okay. So result was there, but was it easier or not to stare at the target instead of the dot?
I honestly almost feel like it just obstructed my target just because of my eyesight.
Okay.
I'm severely farsighted on this eye, and I'm trying to focus directly straight forward.
Right, right.
So I'm seeing everything except what my dot is blocking.
Okay. So with that being the case, maybe not a great training tool for you. But what's interesting is your hit percentage went up. So that could mean you're just used to shooting the gun at that distance.
I felt more steady.
Yep. And
which was interesting to me.
Weird that it works, right?
Right.
The way that it does. But with what you have going on, may or may not be an effective sort of tool.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what I would suggest you do is just practice with it a little bit.
Yes.
And see if this confused visual signal goes away.
Okay.
And you eventually adapt to it. You may or you may not. It would be very difficult to tell with that limited amount of rounds.
Right.
But we did get, in my humble, an encouraging enough sort of result to continue to try it.
Yes.
And see where it takes us. Okay?
Okay.
Now we're going to switch gears a little bit and shoot at a closer target.
Okay.
And see what it does for your accuracy at a normal sort of distance.
Got it.
Okay?
Sounds good.
Awesome. So we worked the occluded dot at a longish range. Now, just for the sake of giving it a try, what I want you to do is bring the gun out of the holster.
Okay.
Kind of like you would in sort of speed drill.
Okay.
Like trying to get off a quick, well-aimed shot, but don't fire.
Don't fire.
Yeah. I just want you to see if you pick the dot up onto the target at about the same pace you normally do, slower or faster.
Okay.
Okay. Now, because obviously your weapon is loaded, we want to follow all of the tenets we talked about before, which is clear garment, full firm firing grip, sort of follow the safety guidelines while we work at a little quicker pace.
Okay.
Okay. So the whole time we're training together, you're never going to go fast to the point where you feel uncomfortable or you don't have control of the weapon. Make sense?
Yes.
So we don't care what the speed is, said differently. We just want to see after it's out of the holster whether you see it sooner or later.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to go get the shot timer so you know when to go.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah. So
I'm going to take this off if I'm going to.
Yeah. Sounds good. So, Kayla, we're going to work at 8 yards. You're going to come out of the holster, safe, secure, and I'm going to use the shot timer to give you the stimulus of go.
Okay.
Once again, you're not going to fire. I just want you to practice a couple of times, seeing whether or not you pick the dot up quicker while it's occluded as compared to when it's not.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
And only you'll be able to tell me because I don't really time you.
Got it.
We don't have any frame of reference. It's just your general impression.
Yep.
Okay?
Okay.
I'm going to step out of your way. You let me know when you're ready.
Ready.
On the beat. Okay? Don't say anything. Let's go again. Let's do it a few times, and we'll see what your general... good. So you're tuning the dot down.
Yep.
Sort of decreasing the brightness.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay, you ready?
Ready.
On the beat. Good. And one more time. Safely look it in. Good. Ready?
Ready.
On the beat. Okay. Go ahead and safely look her in the holster.
Okay.
What do you think? Same, fast, or slow?
About the same, just because I've been practicing dry firing at home, so I'm seeing that dot a little bit quicker than what I initially started.
Fair point. Yep.
But other than that, I'm
certainly isn't a hindrance.
Excited to try something different.
Yeah, it's not a hindrance, right?
Correct.
Perfect. So here's what we're going to do. We're not going to worry about shooting the gun for speed onto the target. Okay. First thing we want to do is we're working once again about 8 yards. I want you just to slow fire the gun as accurately as possible.
Okay.
Okay. And just seeing how, whether you can stay focused on target, dot target, and see if you think it improves or decreases from your overall standard of accuracy.
Okay.
Okay.
So you want me to draw?
Yep. Just go ahead and get her out on the target.
And then just do a couple rounds?
Yep. You'll pull the pistol out on your own.
Okay.
And just put 3 of them down there as tightly as you can.
Okay.
Okay. Untimed, go whenever you feel comfortable. Good. So when you're trying to sort of make them all touch, you find the occlusion to be a hindrance.
Yes, I do.
And that could be your eyes.
Yep.
Right? Important point. Does not work for everybody.
Okay.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to make the gun completely safe, and we're going to remove the occlusion and try the same 3 shots.
Okay.
Okay, so go ahead and clear out for me.
Okay. And
now go ahead. We're going to go ahead and leave the gun down and we'll remove the tape. Yeah, slide lock.
Yep.
Awesome. Presto changeo. Tape is off.
Okay.
You can go ahead and put 3 more in the mag and we'll do the same exercise.
I'm going to use a different mag.
Okay.
I only have 2 rounds left there.
Okay. And Kayla, you don't have to holster.
I don't have to holster?
Nope. You can just come up, get on the target, and give it your best 3 shots.
And now with the tape off, I have to turn it up a little.
Yep. So you can see, right?
Yep.
Okay, good. So that's 3. Safely holster looker in. Perfect. So One of the things you always have to factor in when you're trying new things
right.
is your overall margin of error.
Yep.
And what I mean by that is that last poke.
Okay.
Okay. Is not caused by a clear screen or an occluded screen. It's simply inefficient trigger press.
Yes.
So throw it away.
Okay.
If we look at the first two, I would agree a higher standard of accuracy. But I still think that it's close enough that you should continue to try it for a little bit and see what you think.
Okay.
And if you don't get anywhere, if you don't progress, move on.
Sounds good.
Okay?
Yep.
Sound like a plan? All right. I hope you guys have enjoyed this little kind of tool, a little bit of a hack if you're having trouble staying target focused. Once again, it doesn't work as well for everybody depending on how well you see, but it is or could be another valuable thing or tool in the toolbox to get out every once in a while and see how it goes. Thanks for coming out today, Kayla, and we'll see you next time.
Sounds good.